Hey, social media, it's Jerry coming to you from Guanacaste, Costa Rica at the Rythmia Life Advancement Center. What is Rythmia? Rythmia is a life advancement center that uses ayahuasca, metaphysical teachings, breath work, meditation, farm-to-table organic food, yoga, the cleanse, and personal instruction to bring about this amazing change in 1 week that results in a soul merger. What is a soul merger? A soul merger, in our understanding, is that you were broken in some way in your adaptation to life on earth, and it's a putting back together of that brokenness. It's a beautiful, beautiful experience. How do I know that it's super cool? Well, it happened to me. Secondly, over 18,000 guests have been here. 18,000. 98.37% of them say they had a life-changing miracle during their stay. Better than that, at the 6-month mark, they get a survey, and 90.22% say that this was the week that changed their life. So they come out of here having their life changed. Because of that, who shows up here? Well, all kinds of people, right? Movers and shakers of all descriptions, whether they're from the acting world or music people or business people or science or just about everything. And then normal people like you and me show up as well. So who has come here and had an amazing experience and had such a great experience that they decided to join our board of directors? Let's take a look. Kelly Slater, the greatest surfer of all time. Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer. Michael Bernard Beckwith, the founder of the Agape Spiritual Center, co-author of The Secret. Martin Luther King III, the son of Martin Luther King. Ron White, the comedian. Alanya Van Zant from Oprah's station. Jack Canfield, author of Chicken Soup of the Soul series, over 50 million sold. Frank Biden, Joe Biden's brother, Mark Kielberger, biohacker, celebrity personality, and I'd like to say an activist, an amazing, amazing human. Earl Koski, the businessman. Brandy Sabella, the businesswoman. Kim Terranova, from the Agape Spiritual Center, and our teacher and a leader of a ray of light from here. Dr. Jeff McNary, my partner here, all joined this board because they had this amazing experience. Amazing experience. And usually after this experience, people decide to become a beneficial presence of the planet. What does that entail? Well, I'm going to tell you, it is the hardest thing you will ever do, because you have to attain mastery over something in that process. It is the hardest thing you'll ever do. And the bigger of a thing it is, the harder it is. Because when you bring great light, like Rythmia, there's lots of darkness that wants to stop it. The same thing will happen to you if you're going to be opposed. But that's what makes the journey so exceptionally rich. It wouldn't be fun if you were given the keys to the city on the first date, right? It's this journey. It's this ceremony. It's this forever thing. And once you get there, it's going to be harder than you ever thought. It's going to take longer than you could ever imagine. It's going to bear more fruit than you could ever believe. It really, really, really is. You're going to feel like quitting often, but you're not going to. And then that becomes your ceremony, and it becomes the richest experience of your life, right? And, I want to talk a little bit about this because it is a process of manifestation. It is, right? This is Ceremony Secrets number 10, the last in a series. And we talk about things I learned within my 351 plant medicine ceremonies and how I've applied those things in my everyday life of building this thing. And this thing is amazing. I'm so lucky and happy to be a part of this thing. It's crazy. And we're going to have some big, exciting news coming, hopefully in the next 4 weeks, about rythmia and the future of rythmia. Yes. But I want to talk about the system. One of the first things that I learned was that in order to embark on this journey, you have to be in truth. So that means you have to be truthful about your own situation. You have to be truthful about others and their situation that affect yours. You have to be truthful of the situation of the business or the enterprise that you're trying to make. You have to be truthful about your past history, and not in a way of yelling at yourself for mistakes of the past, but in a way of being truthful about your ability to manifest based on how you've done it in the past, right? So my thing is this: I was a lucky person. I became a millionaire in my 20s, a real millionaire. I took a company public in my 30s. I sold a company for $90 million when I was 41. So I had a history of being lucky in that vein. So my manifestation techniques were good, but my life techniques were horrible. And that's what plant medicine has done for me. But when you decide to do this and become a beneficial presence on the planet, you have to tell lots of truths. The truth about who you were, the truth about who you have to become in order to get the gold ring. What does the gold ring look like? Well, it looks like a lot of different things for a lot of different people. So for someone, the gold ring might be making an incredible family and raising amazing kids that truly are a beneficial presence on the planet. That's one. For someone else, it might be becoming the best singer of all time. For someone else, the best musician, the best food maker, the best healer, the best of the best. Why the best? Because once you have this happen, and once you see this amazing gift that you've been given, which is the gift to live on this garden of a planet and to participate in the activity of life, you want to become the best at whatever so you can give back to this earth. That's what becoming a beneficial presence is, right? And you can't do that by being the worst at something. You can start out as the worst, but you can't end up the worst, right? This is a hard slog. And the great thing about this journey is that it's hard. And in that hardship, it brings out these pearls in you. These pearls that you didn't even know you had. These beautiful gifts that were yours, but you couldn't see them until it got so hard that you couldn't move on. You had to go to a new place in you to bring you forward. And that's your superpower. Your superpower is in finding those tools, right? So in this journey and what this mastery ends up looking at, for a lot of people, it's becoming or building a business that helps a lot of people, or a band or a musical group that lifts people, or an actor, or this. Usually it has a beneficial co-component that is wealth. Usually. And when I say usually, I mean in the high 90s% of the time, right? And the better you hit that, the thicker the golden ring you grab, and the more benefit you can spread to the people who your way of becoming a beneficial presence is going to benefit. That's it. That's the whole thing. Do you do it for the money? Absolutely not. Is the money a byproduct of great success and mastery? Almost all the time. Almost all the time. But in order to get there, we can't quit. So if I get the benefit of meeting a ton of people. And by the way, when I was young and I made $90 million, right? That at that time was a lot of money. But now there's people making billions and billions of dollars, right? So I get to meet a lot of these people that come through Rythmia, and the quality that all of the multi-billionaires have that I know or that I meet is their ability to not quit. So, there used to be a saying that since success is largely hanging on after the guy next to you lets go. And that is true. But there's another level to it. Success is in spite of wanting to let go, to do the best job of hanging on you can during those trying moments. And when you're talking about breaking fractals or creating a new truth or upgrading your system of doing things, you have to exercise these skills, not when it's easy, when it's hard. So what do I mean by that? It's easy when, I'm going to throw out some numbers. If your business is kicking off $20 million a year in profit and everything is going your way and your family is great and your marriage is great and your children are great and everything is great. Well, then in those moments, it takes nothing to use your system, to use your system. It takes nothing. But my God, when you have a big bill to the bank, you owe the bank money, somebody bounces a check to you, you're having a fight with your wife or your husband, your kids getting thrown out of school. Those are the times that coming outside of your paradigm, your system, analyzing it and sticking with it, and sticking with your new system, that's where you develop your power. Your power is in the moment of crisis, not in the moment of success. It's in the moment of crisis when you're tired, you're beat up, you're on your last leg, you're trying to do better, everything is against you. That's when you develop these tools, these gifts and the great thing is, once they're in your mochila, once they're in your satchel, once they're in your briefcase, once they're in your pocket, they're yours because you earned them. You earned them in a time of great tribulation. They are yours. Now, when you learn that and you send a message to the universe that I've learned these, that I am a power, that I am a frequency that's working, that I'm moving forward, then it gets easier and easier and easier. And that's usually near the end. I always talk about a 10-year overnight success, right? And I want to tell you, that was not exactly true. The people I know that have accumulated multiple billions have been 20 and 30-year overnight successes. I'm just telling you. So this journey, this thing, you can picture yourself as a Luke Skywalker or whoever that other guy was, I forget, but as a Luke Skywalker, going in this thing, and the force is with you because you have your tools, right? So getting these tools is not They're not given cheaply. They're not given frivolously. They're given in the darkest moments where you have to dig the deepest to your ethics, to your sinew, your fortitude, your strength, your you. Those are when you find your tools. Now, once those tools are you want to talk about confidence? You want to talk about coming into a room with confidence? If you're the owner of those tools, without saying a word, you don't have to tell people who you are or what you've done. You are the product of the tools you own. And knowing you own those tools, talk about not cockiness, not cockiness, not overconfidence, but a real deep and sincere connection to your own abilities. Wow, that's the beauty of the journey. Once you get there, and once you've worked on these tools, and as you're on this journey, and the journey's whittling away those things from you that no longer benefit you. And what I mean by that is this: they're part of your, I'll use the word system. They're part of your system that's been hindering your forward progression, and they've been worn off by not working. And you're just left with your tools. Wow, what a great place to be. So I'm gonna tell you, God bless you, God keep you, God hold you. Get here and experience this life-changing. And when I say life-changing, it changes your life. Experience this week, and come see us, and make sure that when you see me, you told me that you saw me on the internet or something. Good to see you. See you next week. Cheers.